Hey guys, what's going on? I wanted to give you an update on how I'm doing with LuxAlgo Premium and go through some of the results that I got this last week. Just kind of go through the results I've been having in general, talk a little bit about day trading and swing trading with LuxAlgo, and just kind of see what was really happening in the last few weeks. So I've been documenting all of my results with LuxAlgo, and I think that's important because a lot of times people will talk about LuxAlgo and different strategies, and sometimes they'll talk about theoretical backtesting, and I'm not a huge proponent of theoretical backtesting because, as we all know, like emotions come into this more than just sitting down and running a backtesting simulation. We're not robots, we can't trade like robots, and sometimes the backtesting results that people show are complete nonsense in my opinion. So I think the only real way to show these results is real trades and document them meticulously over at least 50 to 100 trades, right, before you can say, hey, this particular strategy that Russell or somebody else is using actually works or doesn't work, or, I think it's important. And I think that's why I try with these reviews is I try and show real results and not just like theoretical results, which could skew things quite a bit. So what I've been doing is the same thing that I do with a lot of these services, is just documenting my results in a spreadsheet and or putting them into articles. And one of the things I've been doing is this LuxAlgo Premium review. A lot of people use and talk about LuxAlgo. They have something like 50,000 people. So out of that 50,000, you're always going to get people writing reviews, doing videos and things. And I've turned into one of them. And I never used to be into these indicator systems at all, but what I found is they're super useful because it really just takes away all the work, right? So I don't have to sit down, I don't have to scan, I don't have to like figure out what has earnings today. I don't have to like look for my own technical stuff. All I have to do is set alerts and beep, up pops a trade and take the trade. So I've managed to get a strategy that works for me. I think the beautiful thing about this program is most people can find something that works for them as well. So I encourage you to come and check out this review. I'm trying to put all these videos into this review as well as put my results, but I'm not updating that as frequently as I'd like. So I'll show you the results from this last week in a spreadsheet. Eventually it'll make its way into this article. I highly encourage you, if you haven't tried it already, go and sign up through my referral link right here. I managed to get a 30% discount code for you guys. It's STA30. So if you go to this article and click here, I'll leave a link in the description below and you can go and do this. You can get 3 months for like $100, which is a total bargain. And as you'll see when I show you my results from trading on the 1-minute SPY chart. So yeah, it's a fantastic program. I've also tested LuxAlgo, not nearly as impressed with it. I'm in the process of testing a few other ones, but so far Lux is definitely my go-to. I'm doing 2 to 5 trades a day on LuxAlgo. All day trades, all on the SPY 1-minute time frame. It's not because it doesn't work on other time frames or other tickers, it just makes my life easy. And it's something that if you're busy, you can just take, there's enough alerts on the 1-minute SPY that even if you're having lunch or you're not available to take some trades, you'll still get a handful of trades throughout the day that you can take. So for more information, if you want to email me, I'll also leave my email in the link below. Email me and I can kind of talk you through the strategy that I'm using in more detail. My goal is to produce some sort of ebook or e-guide that I can give you guys that go through like exactly what I'm doing in order to help you, because I still get so many questions about what my strategy is, even though I've talked about it in several videos, and I also have it in this review article as well. So anyway, let's look at the results from this last week. So I have this spreadsheet right here. And so along the top, let's see if I can zoom in and make sure this is readable. I think a lot of people, including me, make it hard for people watching YouTube videos to see these things sometimes. So I put the entry date, and these are all short day trades, typically 15 minutes, sometimes more, sometimes a bit less. I'm only trading SPY. It's just I've become obsessed with just trading the markets rather than hunting for particular hot tickers. Maybe that's a mistake, I don't know. It keeps my life easy and simple, and it works for me. I put the contracts, they're nearly always 0 DTE. In the mornings at least they're 0 DTE, so same date, they expire on the same day. Sometimes if it's in the afternoon, I'll take a couple of days out just because I don't want to get killed by theta time decay in the afternoons. The entry price, I put the exit price, I put the number of contracts and the profit and loss per trade. Green obviously is positive. the spreadsheet's putting the negatives in red brackets a lot of the time. So then I put the percentage because that's most important, right? You don't really care. Some people do one contract, some people do 100 contracts. The profit and loss percentage is really important. So that's my spreadsheet, doing some notes on the right here. I make mistakes. I didn't have the best week ever, so we had a short week this last week. So this was from here. So these were this week's results. So we only had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So you can see did like 3 trades, another 3 trades the next day, 4 trades. So 3 or 4 trades on average seems about typical for me. Didn't start the week off well, had a loss of -8%. Not bad at all. I don't care about that. It's not bad. It was that much. 25% win was great on the next one though, so you can see that we really made up for that. Small win, break even-ish for the next one. Very small amount. And then the next day had a much better day, so you can see right here. So 2 wins and a loss. Very small losses. These two are kind of break even, right? So when you're talking about 1% or even 5%, it's almost break even, so not too bad. And then the next day was these 4 trades. So a nice positive day. And then finally Friday, nice positive day with all winners as well, but they weren't huge winners, 6.3%, 0.7 again about break even, and then 18.9, which is great. And so we had a really nice strong up day on this day, so I feel like it didn't perform quite as well as it could have. I think it was the same with the day before. I took a break even on this guy, but it immediately went the right way as soon as I exited, and so I feel like I was just getting too antsy. Just wasn't like being patient enough on these trades. The trade was still in play. Nothing on the LuxAlgo indicator suggested otherwise, but I still exited prematurely. And so that goes back to my whole point. I keep saying to people, like, you have to realize even with the best indicator systems, you're still going to be governed by your own emotions, right? And I think that's a good thing and a bad thing, because let's see where we're going here, looking to switch on the autopilot to short term. So I'm going to go through a couple of trades. I'm just going to talk about very quickly my settings again. It's really not rocket science whatsoever. All I do is I go to SPY, I switch on the smart trail, which is this blue and this red. So bearish is red, the blue is bullish. Sometimes I'll put the reversal zones on. You can see those broader reversal zones. Recently, especially for videos, I've just been switching them off because they just kind of clutter things up a bit. And that's all I do. So nothing crazy. I don't know why this is up at 33. This is not the charts are not reliant on this, because when you switch autopilot on, this just gets ignored, but it shouldn't be up that high anyway. So anyway, and so this was Friday. So we had a nice, let's go 1 day. So you can see there was a lot of signals going on Friday, and we had a nice bullish trend. And so let me just see if I can find one that I did. I really need to start noting down the times and stuff. I think somebody pointed this out to me. So at the end of the week I can go back through and show you specific trades. Otherwise I just get, I just look at the chart and go, oh yeah, I think I did that one. So this one was on Thursday. This one was pretty obvious because it was a bull flag that I was playing based on the indicator, but also the fact it was a bull flag. And so it worked out really well. So something to kind of go back and at least learn from my own mistake on this one. So let's look on Wednesday actually. So let's see if we can find this 31st. This might not work well on the fly here. Let's see. So it was the 31st. I think it was around lunchtime, and it was called 31st. We had quit the sell off here. Yeah, so we gapped down on Wednesday. Oh yeah, I spotted it. So it was, let's zoom in. So it was this guy right here. And so you can see that one of my criteria here is that we have a blue bullish smart trail, and so when it flipped and we got this nice positive signal, actually wait till the next candle because it's possible that this is a fake out, right? Nice thing with the trading view is you can see how long the candles have to go. It'll display it on the right hand side. It's not showing it here because nothing's live. It's the weekend. There's no candles forming. But you can watch it, and if a signal appears like at the start of the candle, don't jump in. Wait until it closes or gets close to closing to make sure that this buy signal sticks. And so we had this nice like consolidation period. I'm like, okay, cool. I feel like this is going to be a good trade. I ended up getting out for about break even on this candle, and literally, and I told a few people in my Discord this, literally within minutes this thing just exploded to the upside, and this is what I was looking for. This may not seem like a big move, but when you're doing 0 DTE, you're talking like 40-50% sometimes with these types of moves. So I was pretty excited about that. It was a really nice move up. If we put the reversal bands on here, let's see if it would have given any indication about when to get out of this. I have no idea if it does or not, but usually that's what I kind of use. So let's go here. So this was me messing up the trade. It wasn't the algorithm, but this was my plan, but I didn't follow my plan, and that's the problem with trading, right? So I just kind of rode this down a little bit, got a little bit wary, got out for about break even, as shown on the spreadsheet right here. Minus 0.8% loss, 20 bucks, who cares? Not a big deal. And then it exploded to the upside. And so this is something I keep telling people is like, you don't wait for the next signal to come in. If you're up 30%, get out, Like what I do is I start taking profits at 10% and then another 10% take profits again. And so with this one, that was my plan. If it exploded up, it would have taken 10% profits. Well, I'd have taken half or a third of my position off at 10% or more profits. And then one of the other guidance lines here would have been this reversal zone. So as soon as we started to kind of top out here, close to this reversal zone, I'd have been out of this position. So even though I messed up this trade, it's still, that was the trade plan. I didn't stick to it. Again, you could have pulled back, gone back up again, but if you'd waited for the next signal, a lot of people think that you're supposed to exit when the new signal comes in. The problem is you'd have exited down here, and you would have had all this time to take gains and then gotten out for a small loss, which would have been frustrating. So, my whole point here is that you need to come up with your own trading plan based around the signals. They generally do work, but you have to make sure that you're not just blindly following signals. And some people would argue, well, what's the point of having an indicator system? Well, because they work, and because generally, like with all these indicator systems, I've found that entries are usually very accurate, but then you've got to manage the trade yourself because it's just the nature of how these things work. So that was just an example of one trade I messed up. I could show you the other examples of the trades that worked, but like who cares? I'd rather show you one that didn't work, so you can see like I'm still learning too. So even though I've done over 50 trades now, I'm still having difficulties. But overall, I'm super profitable. I've had a win rate of 78% and a total profit of $13,230 minus commissions. So pretty good. I'm really happy with how it's going. The strategy works, and as long as I can just kind of keep to the plan, I think this is going to be a long-term profitable tool for me. So I'm pretty excited. It only takes a few minutes a day, which is great. And then I'm going to put all my results in this article as time goes on. I'm going to test and compare other algorithm systems. I get non-stop requests now for testing all these other ones. I think the next one on my to-do list is called LuxAlgo. So I'm going to give that a shot and see how it compares. So remember, I'm mainly doing a 1-minute SPY strategy, but it also works on all the other time frames. And people keep asking me this. It's not like I've picked the only time frame that works. I mean, if you look at the 5-minute here, it actually worked better, right? So, for example, let's take just like this trade right here. So I wouldn't have taken this one because it's actually was in a bullish uptrend based on the smart trail. I would have not taken this one here, but as it broke through the smart trail flip, you can see, so you got to be flexible. Like, let's just get into this. I know it's totally spontaneous. I don't plan any of these videos a lot, and sometimes my points might not be as clear as possible, but here's an example, right? So somebody who is like an LuxAlgo hater might be like, oh, this signal failed. Like, what are you talking about, Russell? This is terrible. Well, let me walk you through my thought process here and how I would trade this. So the first thing is, like, when this signal turns on, we're above the smart trail, which is not ideal. It's a bullish trend. It's not a strong bullish trend at the moment, but it's still bullish. So I wouldn't take the signal. And in fact, there's a way to turn these off so you don't even see them. In the filtering system in here, you can turn it to smart trail filter. It won't show you ones that go against the trend. So that's my answer to that question, is like I would just ignore this one completely and wait for a signal that is more with the trend. And so if you look at this next signal, you could say, well, Russell, why wouldn't you wouldn't have taken this one either? And that's true. Except what I often do, and if you're in the Discord that I run, Sidekick Traders, what you'll see is I'll wait. So you can wait for a breakout, right? Sometimes you can be in a pretty like neutral, so this one is fairly neutral, even though it's red, it's still sideways, right? So it's not like sloping down horribly. So it's kind of neutral. The breakout did reject from the smart trail, but then we had this super strong breakout right here. And so we had this flip as well. So there's really no reason that if you can get in close to this price, which remember is about this level, there's no real reason that you wouldn't be able to jump in on this candle right here. So you've got this flip and you've got a breakthrough what was kind of a weak sideways trend, right? It wasn't super bearish. And so you could say, well, okay, I can get close to the top of this candle's price, say on this candle, then that's fine. And you can jump in and ride this thing up. And that's exactly what happened, is it just kept going and going and going all the way up to here. Taking profit on these little crosses. Similar thing happened here. You can see we had a weak down signal inside a bullish trend, so you don't take that one. And then we had this massive like gap up. Wait till it gets back to the price that it was at, and then ride the trend up. So you've got to be smart about it. You've got to come up with your own strategies. If you think you're just going to blindly buy and sell on signals and not worry about the time frame, not worry about the sensitivity of the settings, not have an actual strategy, then you'll probably be disappointed with LuxAlgo. But if you use it and come up with your own strategy based on just sensible kind of common sense things, then I think you'll be really, really happy with LuxAlgo. So yeah, come and check out the review. I talk about all this stuff and more in this review. And if you want to get the best deal, just come here, click here. You only get the 30% off the first billing cycle, so I think it's important that you realize that you could do the monthly, but you're only going to get the first month for 30% off with this coupon code STA30. And it's best just to do like a quarterly or a yearly, because you'll get the 30% off that whole subscription cycle, if that makes sense. And so I see a lot of people in my communities doing like the quarterly or the yearly, which I think is a good plan. All right, guys, hope that helps. I'll talk to you soon.